We were just 3 days into 2024 when Cat Williams dropped a bomb on everyone.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. This is the other side of Kirk Franklin prank. This is the reckoning. 2024.
And just 8 months after Cat Williams' prediction.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Diddy went from spending the night in his $48 million mansion in Miami to now being detained and held in solitude in the special housing unit of a facility that has been described as hell on earth. And rather than being surrounded by family and friends, Diddy's closest neighbors are the mice and maggots who rule the prison where he now stays. Brother Love has since been hit with a RICO charge. And fam, if you know anything about RICO charges, it means he's not going to go down alone.
Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
Some of those names that have been mentioned in Diddy's lawsuits and might go down with him or be asked to testify are the likes of Young Miami, Jennifer Lopez, Prince Harry, Diddy's handler Christina Coram. Christina Coram is Diddy's chief of staff, and she is allegedly the equivalent of what Ghislaine Maxwell was to Jeffrey Epstein. Another major name in Diddy's lawsuit is actor Cuba Gooding.
So that's where I am now.
And have you expressed regret, sorrow, apologies for what happened previously?
Everything that happens in my life is for a reason. I believe that. And if I continue to walk on my path, whatever that is, I know at the end result, it'll be to make me stronger, to be a better person, to be a better father, you know? And right now, that's the moment I'm in.
But apart from Cuba Gooding, several rappers have also been mentioned as having relations with Diddy. Some of them are Freaky Meek, French Montana. Some sources even state that Diddy kissed Trey Songz.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
I could say something about a Diddy party right now, but I don't know the rules of the game if I'm allowed to say it.
Hey, you'll be okay.
One of my boys, a social media influencer, this was early, back in like 2018.
What's one of your boys?
I'm not gonna expose him because he said some viable shit, but he was at a Diddy party and they invited him to Diddy's room. He walks in, Trey Songz was sitting on Diddy's lap making out with him, and they asked him if he wanted to join.
What the fuck?
They gotta be, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
They're all gay. They're all undercover gays. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Aiden, be honest, what would you do if you were in that situation?
Say no and walk out.
Aiden's been to those parties.
Aiden, what if they offered you $100 million to make out with him and Trey Songz? What are you doing?
Hell yeah, bro, 100 mil, got him right.
These are just some of the names that might go down with Diddy. And according to the authorities, if Brother Love is found guilty, he will get nothing less than 25 years, or he is sentenced to life in prison. The feds also revealed that when they raided Diddy's house back in March, the evidence they found was far from gentle. Most of you might already know about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants, but the $48 million mansion wasn't drenched in baby oil alone. The feds also found several types of drugs, like ketamine, ecstasy, GHB, and 3 AR-15s with scratched-off serial numbers.
As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large-capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles all.
Now, if you are not sure what these videos and images that are evidence of freak-offs are all about, then here's a breakdown for you. In the charges brought against Diddy, the feds explained that Brother Love would fly in sex workers not just from different states across the US, but also from different countries across the globe. These sex workers were brought to sleep with Diddy's would-be victims, who have been drugged and then coerced or forced to perform various sexual acts for Puffy's pleasure. And while all of this is going on, Diddy is touching himself and getting off on it. Diddy's alleged victims were not only women, but also men. Cassie alleged that Puffy liked his victims oiled up, which is why he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. Brother Love's alleged favorite thing to do was to direct the sexual acts and make people bend to his will. Not only was Brother Love controlling the sexual acts, he also recorded every one of them, and these were the videos and images the feds found on the electronic devices seized from his home.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
According to the feds, some of Diddy's freak-offs or parties lasted for days. And if you ever attended any of Diddy's parties, best believe he surely has you on tape. This is why Cat Williams stated in that interview on Club Shay Shay that you have to tell Diddy no.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Diddy's parties and so-called freak-offs were so intense that the victims would be so weak that they would have to use IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. However, not all of Diddy's victims were deceived into attending his freak-offs. In some cases, Puffy just had to use his power and businesses to promise his victims career opportunities. What makes this even more interesting is that a number of these freak-offs actually happened in Diddy's Miami mansion. However, it seems being held behind bars hasn't exactly stopped Diddy from conducting business. Some sources state that Diddy has started selling some of the videos of these freak-offs on the dark web so that he could settle the huge legal bills he would incur from the ongoing case. According to Jaguar Wright, one of the sex tapes Diddy sold recently on the dark net went for $500 million. She stated that the likes of Chris Brown, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Justin Bieber, and Drake were all on Diddy's freak-off sex tape.
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak-off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
But apart from the freak-offs, the feds also highlighted Puffy's history of violent abuse in this case. One of such examples was the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in a hotel. The feds stated that Diddy immediately tried to bribe the hotel security staff and buy their silence. The staff who was initially approached turned him down and rejected the bribe. However, he was able to bribe other members of the security team, and Diddy was assured that the video had been wiped off the server. But still, bribing hotel staff is just one of Diddy's many crimes. After he was arrested, Diddy has been denied bail twice. Brother Love offered his passport and the passport of all members of his family to prove that he wasn't a flight risk, and even offered a $50 million bond package, but he was still denied bail. Diddy's bail package was denied because, according to the feds, he's not just a flight risk. Brother Love also has the tendency to intimidate and tamper with multiple witnesses. If you are wondering what particular jail Diddy was offering $50 million to avoid going to, then it's time we talk about Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn. MDC Brooklyn is the only federal prison in the largest city in the US, but it is also one of the most dangerous. MDC is not called hell on earth for no reason. Diddy's new home is so dangerous that most judges have stopped nonviolent offenders to the facility, and some judges don't even send prisoners to MDC at all because of how violent the place can be.
You have a desk, you have a plastic chair, you have your bed with a 1.5-inch mattress, no pillow, and you also have a locker. So you basically have 3 feet by 5 feet to move around. So you have a basic 15 square feet. It is a horrible.
Brother Love is obviously not in Gen Pop. He is being held in the SHU, but he is not getting any special treatment. During his time in MDC, Diddy is only getting 3 showers a week. He only gets 1 hour of recreation, and rather than any extravagant buffet Puffy is used to, he will most likely get meals like egg noodles, peas, and cereal. Rather than any Diddy parties or freak-offs, Brother Love is now stuck in his cell for 23 hours a day. Diddy also now has a spending limit of $160, so he won't be living no billionaire lifestyle in his new home. MDC is also the prison that was once used to hold the likes of R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, the crypto FTX fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, Fetty Wap, and a host of other celebrities. Diddy's lawyers were willing to go the lengths to ensure he didn't end up at MDC because of the murders and stabbings that have happened at the facility. In recent times, MDC Brooklyn has seen 2 murders, 4 cases of people unaliving themselves, and numerous stabbings. MDC Brooklyn is also home to some members of MS-13, who stabbed an inmate 44 times a few months ago. And if you don't know how dangerous the MS-13 are, I'm just going to let former President Donald Trump do the honors for you.
But MS-13 is particularly violent. They don't like shooting people because it's too quick. It's too fast. I was reading one of these animals was caught and explaining they like to knife them and cut them and let them die slowly because that way it's more painful and they enjoy watching that much more. These are animals.
Well, these are some of the people who are now Diddy's neighbors. Behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, he is not known as Sean Combs, not as Puffy, not as Puff Daddy, not as Diddy, not even known as Brother Love, or the other millions of monikers he might have. Sean Combs is simply known as inmate 37452054.